Nicole. Today I'm guiding you through a shoulder and neck release. With trauma, our shoulders and our neck often gets tense because we tend to hunch our body over, protecting that middle body. We tend to keep our head down, which keeps our neck and our shoulders tight. So today we're going to loosen that up and see if we can release some of that tension. As always with trauma yoga, you have choices. If at any point you feel uncomfortable, don't want to do a pose, feel free to do a pose of your choice. Today we're going to start in a child's pose. So child's pose you can do a couple of ways. One, you can start with your knees together and just crawl over your legs here. Another option, you can place your knees on either side of your mat for a little bit of a deeper stretch. And just crawl your hands forward. Start to take some deep breaths here. Notice the air fill your lungs. Notice the movement in your body as the air fills up. Take a long breath out. If you'd like, you can kind of start to wiggle your hips, wiggle your body, rock your neck from side to side. Give your forehead a little bit of massage here on the ground. If you're feeling good here, you can crawl your hands a little bit forward, pull your arms a little bit, get a deeper stretch in that shoulder, upper back area. Notice any tension, any anxiety, any feelings in your body. Just notice them. Breathe into them. For your next breath in, you can rise up into a tabletop position, and we're going to move into cat-cow. If you'd like, you can also do cat-cow just sitting on your heels if that feels more comfortable for you. If you're going to do it sitting on your heels, you're going to breathe in, bring your shoulders back. Breathe out, concave your shoulders, concave your spine. If you'd like a traditional cat-cow, come to all fours. You can place your hands beneath your shoulders, your knees beneath your hips. On your breath in, you're going to drop your belly, raise your tailbone, raise your chin. Your breath out, move into a cat pose, tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin. Breathe in cow pose, drop your belly, pull your chest through your shoulders. Breathe out cat pose. Tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone. And let's move here for a few more breaths. Just move at your own pace. Breath in, move into cow. Breath out, cat pose. Two more times on your own breath. Meet in neutral spine. From here, we're going to move on to our seat. You can sit either crisscross applesauce, butterfly pose, easy seat, whatever is comfortable for you. Let's do some quick shoulder stretches. Raise your arms up, breathe in. Float them back down, breath out. Arms up, breathe in. Float them back down, breathe out. Your breath in, you're going to cross your left arm across your body. You're going to use that right arm to hook and pull your shoulder just a little bit. Notice here any tension you feel. Don't pull too hard. You don't want to hurt yourself. You just want to give yourself a little bit of a warm-up. Keep noticing your breath. Breath out, float your arms back down. Breathe in, you're going to do the same thing, opposite side. Right arm goes across body, left arm hooks. Breathe in. Breathe out, notice the stretch. Breathe out, float your arms back down. On this next breath, we're going to raise our arms all the way up. Breathe out, float all the way back down. I'm sorry, we have a visitor here. And we're going to do a quick neck stretch. So raise your left hand, place it on the side of your head. Breathe in, lengthen your spine, move your shoulders down away from your ears. On your breath out, you're going to let the weight of your hand pull your head just a little bit towards the left side of your body. You don't want to pull here or strain your neck. You just want to let gravity kind of take your ear here, ear to shoulder. And breathe. If you'd like, you can move that right arm around. You'll find a nice sweet spot to let your shoulder stretch exactly where it needs to go. Float that arm back down. Raise your neck back up. We're going to do the opposite side. Breathe in, arms up. Breathe out. Place your hand on the side of your neck. Side of your head, rather. And breathe here. Move your left hand around if you'd like to. A little bit of extra stretch. Find that spot that feels good. Breathe in, raise your neck back up, float your arms back down. Moving into compass pose, raise your arms up. Grab your left wrist with your right hand and lean to the right. What you're looking for here is a stretch in your side body. Not so much your arm and your wrist. You want to feel that stretch right here along your ribs, maybe moving into your hips. If you'd like, try to turn your body towards the ceiling. Breath in, rise back up. Breath out, float your arms back down. Compass opposite side. Breathe in, arms up. Grab your right wrist with your left hand. Lean to the left. Same thing. Look for that stretch in your side body and your hip. Maybe turn your head and your body towards the ceiling. Breathe in, rise up. Breathe out, float your arms down. Our last seated pose today. Breathe in, arms up. Breathe out, arms down. Raise your right hand up and drop it behind your back here. Take your left hand, place it on that elbow. Breathe in. Lengthen your spine. Move your shoulders down away from your ears. You can either use gravity a little bit to push your elbow. You can use your neck if you'd like to push into that arm behind you. And breathe here. Your breath in, lengthen your spine. Breath out, float your hands down to the ground. Opposite side, breathe in, bring that left arm up, drop it behind your back. Right arm is going to go on top of that elbow. Breathe in, lengthen your spine, shoulders away from ears. Let gravity push your elbow a little bit with your hand. You can use your head to push back into your arm. Next breath in, straighten your spine. Raise your arms up, float them back to the ground. Move into child's pose however you'd like. If you can, place both knees on either side of the mat. Crawl your arms forward here. Take a big breath in, long breath out. Moving into baby camel, crawl your arms back towards your body. Place them behind you, just a little bit behind your hips here. Take a big breath in, move your shoulders away from your ears. Breath out, lift your hips up, moving into baby camel. You can drop your neck back here. If that's uncomfortable, keep it into a comfortable position. If at any point this feels too tight, too uncomfortable, you can move back to sitting on your heels. Breath out, come to a seat on your heels. Crawl back into that child's pose. Big breaths here. One more time, moving into baby camel. Crawl your arms back towards your body. Place them slightly behind your hips. Take a big breath in. Move your shoulders away from your ears. Breath out. Push your hips up towards the ceiling. You can drop that neck back into a release if that feels comfortable. Breathe here. Your breath out, lower your hips back down to your heels. Crawl your hands forward, move into a downward facing dog. Come up to your knees if that's easier for you. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back to our first downward facing dog of the day. Here you can pedal out your feet. Push your hips up and back. Get comfortable here. If you'd like to continue noticing that feeling, you can push your shoulders away from your ears. Breathe into your hamstrings, into your calves. Take a big breath in. Look up to your hands. As slow as you can, move your feet towards your hands. If you can't reach all the way to your hands before rising up off the floor, that's okay. We want to move into a ragdoll position, so you can have your feet hip distance apart, a little bit wider, a little bit less, whatever feels comfortable for you. And you're just going to let your body hang. You can keep your arms hanging just free. You can grab opposite elbows. You can keep a slight bend to your knees. If you'd like, you can sway here. Notice your body feel heavy. You can breathe in, arms up. Breathe out, arms down. Breathe in, halfway lift. You can place your hands on the floor or on your shins here. Breathe out, forward fold all the way down. From here, step your right leg back into a low lunge. You can place your knee on the floor or you can leave it up, whatever feels comfortable for you. Breathe into your hip here. Now your next breath in, you can lower your knee, raise your arms all the way up. Big breath in. Breath out, move into cactus arms. Open those shoulders up. Raise your chest, your chin up towards the sky. Breathe out, hands down. Lift that back knee up. Now step your left leg to meet your right. You can do chaturanga here, or you can come down to your knees. Big breath in. Lower your body all the way down to the floor. Your next breath in, pull up into a cobra, baby cobra. Lift your chest and head up off the floor. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Pull your hands back. And here we're going to push up and back into a downward facing dog. Same thing, look up to your hands and slowly, slowly walk your feet to meet your hands. Breathe here. Breathe in, raise your arms up. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift, hands to shins or to the floor. Breathe out, forward fold. And we're going to do the opposite leg here. Step your left leg back into a low lunge. Keep your knee on the floor or raise, whatever feels comfortable for you. And breathe into those hips. Your next breath in, you can rise up. Breath out, cactus arms. Raise your chest, your chin up to the sky. Breathe out, frame your foot, step your right leg back to meet your left, move into chaturanga. You can raise up into an upward facing dog or cobra. Breathe out, downward facing dog. Breathe in, look up to your hands. Baby steps all the way up to your hands. Breathe in, rise up. Breathe out, Tadasana. Come to a standing pose. From here, you can move into a warrior two. Step that left leg back. And keep your feet perpendicular and bend into that right knee. Take a big breath in. Raise your arms up. Breathe out, bend a little bit deeper into that knee. As you breathe, make sure that your shoulders are pulling away from your ears. Really try to loosen up those shoulders. And your breath in, you can lengthen your spine. Your breath out, you can bend a little bit deeper into that knee. If this feels uncomfortable in the shoulders, you can always bend your elbows. It gives you a little bit of a break on your shoulders. Big breath in, lean forward. Breath out, flip your wrist. Pull your hand up and back into reverse warrior. You can do several things with your hand here. You can leave it on the side. You can bind it behind your back to try and grab that other leg. If you want, you can raise it up if that feels comfortable. All the while, move your shoulders away from your ears. And your next breath out, move into a side angle. Place your forearm on your leg. Stretch your left arm up over. You can keep it moving towards the ceiling or towards the front of your mat. This is a big one where people crunch into their shoulders. So pull your shoulder away from your ear and breathe. Notice any tension in your body, any muscle movements. Your next breath in, straighten that front leg and move into a triangle pose. If you have a block here, it'd be a good time to grab that block. If you don't, you can keep your hands on your leg here for balance, or you can move all the way down to the floor. You can keep your neck in a neutral spine staring down at the floor, or you can move it up staring up at the ceiling, whatever feels comfortable for you. Breathe into your hips. Breathe into that hamstring. Your breath out, you can frame your foot, bend into a low lunge. Step that right leg back. You can either drop your knees here or keep them up. And chaturanga. All the way to the floor. You can move up into a upward facing dog or a cobra. Lift up and back, downward facing dog. Look up to your hands, and here you can take bigger steps than we've been taking. You can bend your knees if you'd like. You can hop up to the front. However you want to get to the front of your mat, forward fold. Breathe in all the way up. Breathe out, Tadasana. Opposite side, warrior two. Step that right leg back, perpendicular with your left foot. Bend into that knee. Breathe in, raise your arms up. Breathe out, bend a little deeper. Same thing here, you can bend your elbows if that feels more comfortable on your shoulders. Move your shoulders away from your ears. And your breath in, lean forward. Breath out, flip your hand all in your inner rights all the way back into reverse warrior. Again, same options. You can bind that other arm behind your back, raise your arm up, leave it here on your leg. Shoulders away from ears. Breath out, extended side angle. Place your left forearm on your left knee. Bring your right arm up. You can either have it towards the ceiling, towards the front of your mat, shoulder away from ear. And breathe here. Triangle pose. Straighten that left leg. You can grab a block, grab your leg, come all the way down to the floor. Look towards your foot, look towards your hand, neutral neck, whatever feels comfortable for you. And breathe here. And your next breath out, you can bend your left knee, frame your foot here, step back, and move into chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra on your breath in. Breath out, downward facing dog. It's gonna be our last down dog of the day. So really get whatever stretches you want out of here. And your breath out, lower your knees to the mat. Come to a seat. Breathe here. You can stay here in hero's pose, or if this is uncomfortable for you, you can move into an easy seat, whatever seat feels best. And do a couple of twists. Breathe in, raise your arms up. Breathe out, twist your body towards the right. Place your right arm behind you, left arm on your right knee. Take some breaths here. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. If you can, straighten your spine. And your breath in, lengthen your spine. Breath out, twist a little deeper. Breathe in, lengthen your spine. Breathe out, release to the front. Same thing, opposite side. Breathe in, raise your arms up. Breathe out, left arm goes behind you, right arm goes to that left knee. Easy twist. Breathe in, lengthen your spine. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Breathe in, lengthen your spine. Breathe out, twist a little deeper. Breathe in, lengthen your spine. Breathe out, release. We're going to have some eagle arms to release some of that tension out of our back. Breathe in, raise your arms up. Breathe out, float them back down. And your next breath in, you're going to bring your left arm in front of your face. Your right arm goes underneath. You can either keep here, wrist to wrist, or you can twist all the way around and have your palms touching. Breathe in. Notice any tension releasing in your back, between your shoulders. You can lift your elbows up a little bit to meet your chin. You can push them forward if you want a little bit of a deeper stretch. Breath out, release. Same thing, opposite side. Bring your right arm in front of you, left arm goes underneath. Either keep the back of your hands together or move your palms together. Breathe in. Raise your elbows to meet your chin. Breathe out, release. I'd like to move into a camel's pose. If you want to do baby camels again, that's fine. You can place your hands behind you and lift your hips, or we can move into a full camel. For a full camel, you're going to rise up onto your knees. You can place your hands kind of like you're putting them into back pockets. Lengthen your spine, shoulders away from ears. For the first round, take a big breath in and just lean back a little bit into your hands. You can drop your neck back if that feels comfortable. Your next breath in, straighten your spine. This time you can do the same thing again, or we can move it back into a little bit more of a camel pose. Breathe in, lengthen your spine. Breathe out, start to lean back. You can move one hand to your heel. You can stay here if you'd like, or you can move both hands to your heels. Push your hips forward, drop your neck back, and breathe here. To come back up, place your hands back like you're putting them back into those back pockets. Slowly rise up. Breathe out, sit back into your heels. We're going to move into our cool down portion of today. You're going to come all the way to your belly. If you can move your arms into kind of a football post. So if you're laying down, they're going to look kind of like this on the floor. So football post arms. Lean your body a little bit to the left so that your weight is kind of pushing into that left elbow a little bit. You can stay here just with your hips kind of together, or you can bring your foot back to touch behind you. We're looking for a stretch across that front chest. You can use your right arm to push a little bit deeper, or you can just relax it next to you. And breathe here. And your next breath out, come back to your belly. Move back into goalpost arms. Big breath in, and we're gonna move to the opposite side. So roll over to your right side. You can keep your leg parallel with your other leg, or bend it. Use a little bit more of a twist behind you. You can use your left arm to push, or you can just leave it flat, whatever feels comfortable. Breathe in, come back to your belly. Lay here for just a few breaths. If you'd like, you can straighten that right arm forward. Take your left arm, flip your wrist, and crawl it underneath your body here, kind of like you're threading a needle. And you could stay here, rise up, or you can fall a little bit onto that shoulder and breathe. Your breath in, rise back up slowly. Let's move to the opposite side. Lengthen that left arm in front of you. Flip that wrist on the right side. Thread it under your body. You can stay risen, or you can fall onto that shoulder. Breath in, rise back up. We're gonna move onto our backs. I have a couple of variations here. Please only do what you feel comfortable with. First variation, lift your legs up into a waterfall pose. Here you can just relax, let some of that blood drain back down. Breathe into those hamstrings, those calves. If you can, you can either point your toes or flex your feet, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Now if you'd like to stay here as long as you'd like. If you are up for it, you can move into a shoulder stand. For shoulder stand, we're gonna work ourselves kind of onto our shoulders. Bring your hips up, place your hands, again like you're putting them into back pockets. And lengthen your body. And use your shoulders, your elbows here as kind of kickstands. If it's more comfortable for you, you can leave them flat. You can play here however you'd like. If you would like a little bit deeper stretch in that back, only do this if you feel really comfortable. You can move into wheelbarrow pose, so drop your feet behind you. If you want, you can keep a bend in your knees if that feels more comfortable, or keep them straight. This is really to get that
stretch in that mid back. You can clasp your hands if you want a little bit of a deeper stretch. If your neck, back, or anything feels uncomfortable, come back out of it by placing your hands in your back pocket, shoulder stand. Or you can just stay here for a little while. When you're ready, slowly come back up. If you're in shoulder stand, move back down into waterfall. Float your feet all the way to the ground. And let's move into our final resting pose. Let your feet fall to either side. Relax your arms beside you. Notice your breath. Notice your body. Thank your body for all the work it just did for you. And stay here in shavasana as long as you'd like. Begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take a morning stretch. Raise your arms above you. Stretch your legs to the floor. Roll onto one side, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Slowly rise up to a seat. Hope you enjoyed this practice today. Hopefully you're able to feel a little bit of release in your shoulders and your neck. Hopefully you can remember to keep your shoulders away from your ears. Keep your body tall. And thank you for sharing this practice today.